What I wanted to shoot for was building like a really small and scrappy smart home app that can connect to GPT for recommendations and to Obsidians for recipe storage. And you're going to see what I mean soon because this gets really cool.
Get excited.
My wife has become a really big fan of GPT because it enables her to do so much more in very little time. And I recently noticed that she's been using it to come up with dinner ideas. She would give it our macro goals and food preferences, and the AI would give her a menu option that she can choose from. But here's the funny thing about life. When you solve one problem, another is going to take its place. GPT does such a great job of suggesting foods that she loses track of which meals we felt that were winners. She doesn't want to have to talk to GPT all the time to create new dishes or to even try to remember the old ones. Sometimes she just wants to recreate something that she already knows that we like. Maybe my smart home could help her improve this problem. I already know how to create websites and write code, but I don't want to overcomplicate the setup, like spin up servers and do all sorts of like blah 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 blah. Like I don't want to do all of that. I'm not trying to create a second job. What I wanted to shoot for was building like a really small and scrappy smart home app that can connect to GPT for recommendations and to Obsidians for recipe storage. Now here's how this React app works. When you log on, you come to a menu where you can choose either existing recipes or something new. If you choose something new, you can get a chat screen where you can talk to the AI. Now this experience is exactly the same as what she's currently used to within the GPT UI. Once it gives you a recipe that you like, you can click the save button here in the corner, and then this will give the AI a robust prompt asking it to return a list of ingredients, macros, cooking instructions, maybe an image, maybe. This markdown is stored as a new document in Obsidian under the recipes folder. Now, traditionally, usually with tech, you would put this into like a NoSQL database or some kind of database, structural database of some sort. That way you can query it and then manipulate the data and all of that. Again, why? Like, we don't need to do that, especially for your smart home. I want this super simple. I'll come back to that. If you want to revisit saved meals, you can click the existing recipes button and get a list of all of your favorites that you've saved. And because it's in Markdown, I can just show it in the app using like a simple Markdown viewer. Again, no complicated codes to reconstruct everything. And here's the elegant beauty of this solution. If my wife wanted to add her own recipes, delete recipes, or browse it on her computer, she just needs to open up Obsidian and go to the folder and view it. I don't think you understood how awesome that is. Sure, we can create a database and do all sorts of fancy things, but the fact that Obsidian served as not only the database for the app, but it also serves as a practical container for my wife to go and just do normal things like update the recipes herself. Like, this is literally the best of both worlds. This is designing for humans as opposed for tech. I want you to pause this video and think about what I just told you. When you use an app, the data is typically stored in a database. It's stored in a format that is convenient for the computer and nerds out there like me to work with. And then to actually view that data, you're going to need an application layer over that raw data just to show it in a way that's meaningful for people like my wife and for the average end user. This data isn't for devs. This recipes and everything that we're doing isn't for the computer or for some nerd in the background. It's for those who simply want to just use the thing and just gain value from it. AI liberates your data and lets you create a more human setup. The raw data is stored in a format that both the computer and the end user can read, which means that my infrastructure can remain super simple and user-friendly. I don't have to worry about any of the technical stuff. I just have a markdown file on my computer. This is human-first software design engineering. I made that up, but it sounds really legit, right? This setup uses Node-RED and Obsidian, and that's it. If you want to go crazy, you can use Home Assistant add-ons like Grossi, or I think some of you pointed out like Mealy and Tandoor recipes. Like, you can add all of that stuff after the fact and kind of integrate it all in. You can put it into like a shopping list app and then have like whenever you create recipes, it just creates a list for you. you, like, you can go crazy with this if you want. And technically, many of you already have the skills to make that happen. All you really need was this idea. Me coming here and telling you this, that's all you really needed. And now you're probably inspired to go and do it. And by all means, go and do it. And tell me about it inside the community. But let me help you out a little bit more. I'm also going to post the React code that I used for my wife to create this app. I'm going to post it for you so that way you can have that React code and change it however you want, do whatever it is. Like, you can fork it's in GitHub, you can fork it, create a whole new thing on top of it. By all means, like, do it. For my supporting community members, you get the full deal. I'm going to provide you not only the source code, but I'm also going to give you the Node-RED flow and as well a bonus N8N flow. Both can connect your app to Obsidian. And I'm going to give you instructions along with how to put it all together too as well. You're going to get the full deal. For those of you who aren't a part of this Technenthusiast Pro group, let me put you on. Now, you might have heard of the Automation Trilogy, right? It's a 3-part series that shows you how to connect AI into your smart home using tools like Obsidian and Node-RED. This series comes with your Pro membership. And with that Pro membership comes access to my curated automations list, which is where I'm posting this particular application and all of the tools with it. Now, if this isn't your thing, that's cool too. I respect the hustle. And as a matter of fact, let me reward you with this. Remember at the beginning when I mentioned that you could create a smart home remote with Node-RED and Home Assistant? Did you know that you can also create a custom smart home DJ app? Yeah, you should check this out too then.